Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have another watch me work. Of course, what else? I'm sure that's what y'all are here for. So this set, as you can see, is wild, colorful, matchy and not matchy at the same time. It's using Swarovski's new electric neon crystals and all the colors except the white one. And we did a little simple outline of the nails, not quite a French, and coordinated each nail to a crystal. So this is my client's previous set when it was freshly done, and there is a video on this look. So if you haven't watched this video, go ahead and do that. And then this is that same set about 4 or 5 weeks later. She lost a nail, and that happens, especially when your nails are 4 or 5 weeks old. Of course, you know, in general, nail techs recommend having your nails done every 2 or 3 weeks, but if they can last, that's great. But I talked before how this client, her sidewalls don't grow as far down, so it kind of weakens the sides of her nails. So she experiences a little more cracking than what a usual person would. And then she wears them long. I do recommend her cutting them down, but she likes them long, so we risk it. So what I'm doing is I'm taking this product all the way down. Again, if you haven't watched this video, you really should. This glitter is encapsulated, so I'm showing you this is real time. This has not been sped up at all. How aggressive and great this Red Baron bit is. I need to take all this glitter off because we're doing the nail solid nude acrylic. So I wanted to take it all the way down. So that's what I'm doing. And I didn't want to add all these clips and just me filing. So I just have that little bit for you. So now I'm going in with the skiver bit. And this bit has a texture like a sanding band. It doesn't have teeth. It's not eating away at the nail. It's literally, it has a texture that's buffing away the dead skin, which is the cuticle on the nail plate. We have to have that removed so that our products adhere properly. And then it also helps the nails just look nice, cleans it up so nothing is in the way of our application. Now, I use this bit, she has nothing on her nail, and I go over the entirety of her nail to remove shine. So I'm removing the cuticle off the nail plate, but I'm removing shine in order to, so the nail has texture so the product can grip onto. Next, I'm using the round bit, and this just cleans up the dead skin, anything that's left over from the cuticle removal, or anything that's just dry and crusty and dusty. So I use this bit going forward and backward both, and just to get that skin off. So next, I'm showing you that I blended my tips. I didn't show you tip application. I'm using the pinched square tips from the Glitter Planet UK. I just glued those on, and I'm blending the tips in, and then I'm going in on the natural nail. Now this portion is sped up so it looks aggressive. You never want to damage your client's nail plate. I'm lightly going over the nail just to add a little more etching and texture, which helps with adhesion. It adds a little like little canals for the product to kind of seep into, just for it to grip better. So I'm showing you my client's sidewalls. You see how far back her sidewall connects? That's where it connects on the side, but that's where it connects, where the hyponychium is underneath, like where it connects at the free edge. And it's such a large distance, and so there's weakness there. So like I've said in the previous video, I've tried so many things. We deal with it, we fill it in, we make it work. So as you see in the products I showed was Glamorous Nude from Valentino Beauty Pure, and I'm using Tammy Taylor's Extra Adhesion Monomer. That monomer doesn't require that you use a primer, but I, want to be safe than sorry. So I go ahead and dehydrate, cleanse the nail from the dust, dehydrate per usual, and then you can use your normal primer, YoungNails Protein Bond, if you want to use a Tammy Taylor primer. If you don't want to mix systems, I would go ahead and prime. But we have good prep. We did great prep. We removed all our cuticle, buffed the nail, etched it, everything like that. So we're good to go. And I'm using the Poochie's Nails size 16 brush, and this brush is pinched, and it was pinched by Poochie. I don't think she pinches them anymore. I'm not sure, but I did get this brush years ago when she first started selling them, probably about 3 or 4 years ago by now. So I'm sorry if she doesn't do it anymore. But it's my favorite brush for so many reasons. Even though if she doesn't sell it pinched, I do think it's worth, trying out. But I'm just showing y'all a sped up clip of me doing a couple nails. It's just solid acrylic application. And you can see this is really me working. I'm not even thinking about me being recorded or anything. And you can kind of see I'm haphazard with my application. I don't do a certain 3 beads, start from the top, middle, free edge, or anything like that. I'm just putting the beads up there and getting the structure how I want it, making sure I'm not touching the cuticle area, making sure there's no missed spaces, making sure my apex is where it needs to be, that my nail is built correctly from the left side to the right side. And you can see I noticed there that I was missing a little bit towards the cuticle area. I'm going in and adding some. I'm adding some at the free edge of this nail. Sometimes I'll add a bead to the nail and move on to the next one for whatever reason. I'm just like that. So I've shaped the nails off camera. I know. It's hard to capture, guys. I'm sorry. Maybe one day we'll have a shaping video. Who knows? So I'm going in with this carbide bit. This is a safety bit. And I'm using this bit to actually shape the surface of the nail. So I'm taking out any noticeable lumps and bumps and smoothing out everything. Now, I don't use this bit when I do builder gel because it can take down a lot of product fast, and builder gel self-levels very well. So there's not a lot you need to do with builder gel. But with acrylic, I like to use a carbide bit to get it extra smooth, no lumps and bumps. And especially depending on what you're doing, those lumps and bumps and ridges can be more noticeable. So next I'm going in with my favoriteest bit, the crosscut bit. I use this bit to taper towards the cuticle area, but also to buff the entirety of the nail. So we have texture so that our top coat or gel polish has something to grip onto and has some texture. I love this bit. You could probably do almost everything with this bit, honestly. You could prep with it because it is a diamond bit. And again, that means it's kind of like sandpaper or like a sanding band, but you don't throw it away. You just clean it, sanitize it, and reuse it until, it can't be used anymore, basically, where it doesn't have texture anymore. So you can see the results, how close we are to the cuticle area, how clean it is, and everything. It's just beautiful. So next I'm showing you the colors that we're going to use. Using some Madame Glam colors. You can always use Tabitha for 30% off. That's Le Chat, Happy Hour, Bright Barbie Pink. This is Blood Orange. I love these colors. And these colors we picked to match these crystals as perfectly as we could. But I did not have a blue that would match the blue crystal. So I'm using these 3 blues, that Bright Night from Color Club, Fresh Water from Madame Glam, and Fresh Me Up. I also used some of that Electric Neon and a little bit of white, and off camera I mixed up this color. And I got it as close as possible to that blue crystal because, you guys, those type of details are important in a look. Like, if one of the colors were off, I couldn't. I cannot. So I had to have a blue that would match as great as possible. And those other colors are nearly perfect. They match those Swarovski neon crystals perfectly. So I'm going in with my Wildflower striper brush. I showed that in a few clips back. These are the brushes I use all the time for all my line work. I've had them for years now, and they're amazing. And so I'm just showing a few clips of me doing these lines. It's nothing too special. I make sure I start the line at a specific area, which is where her sidewalls meet at the corner. Bring it down and just go straight across and color a little bit on the free edge to make sure we have a nice, covered pigmentation from every side and on the tip. You can see I keep on bumping my finger on that one side of the nail and having to go back and paint it. You know, stuff happens. And I do want to tell you guys a tip. This is a neon color. If you ever notice, neon colors can be a little sheer or jelly-like. You can add a little bit of white in there and it'll still keep the neon but make the pigment brighter. So I did 2 coats of all these colors and cured them in between each coat, of course. And I'm using YoungNails Protein Bond. If you watch any of my recent past videos, you know I use that for the top coat to adhere well to the nail and not pull away. So I bought these crystals from Blue Street Crystals, and you can use code TABITHA5 for 5% off. Make sure you look at my YouTube name and spell my name correctly. And they had a mixed pack at a very great price. It had mixed colors and sizes all in one pack of all the neon colors, which is the blue, the pink, the green, the yellow, the orange, and the white. I did not use the white in this set. It doesn't really scream like neon to me, but I'm sure I could get some use out of it in the future. Plus, she only has 5 fingers, and that's 6 colors, so it just didn't make sense. So I'm using the various sizes. I kind of looked at an inspo pic, but I ended up winging it really. And I'm mixing it with the Swarovski Crystal AB in various sizes. These electric colors don't come in small sizes at this point. The smallest they come in, I think, is a 10, I believe. So in order to get a really good look, I feel like sometimes you need to mix in some different sizes, and Crystal AB is kind of, you know, neutral. It reflects multiple colors and it actually sparkles. You can see those neon crystals, they reflect light, but they don't sparkle the same way, because they're like solid. I don't know how to describe it, but you can see that the Crystal AB adds like a diamond sparkle. It's like light bounces like through it and reflects out, but the same thing doesn't happen with those neon crystals. It's the light bounces off the actual surface. Anyways, so I'm just showing you some of the crystal looks. I'm applying that Nailed by John Herpes gel, and I'm pushing the crystals. You want to kind of sink the edges into that gel in order for it to hold. So you don't want to like skimp. That gel has to physically be around the lip of those crystals. Now you don't want it to get on top of the crystal because that will take away the shine. You kind of need a happy medium. So I cured all those, and I'm going in with this Après top coat. Y'all know I don't discriminate with top coats. I ran out my Joya Mia one. I had this one laying around, a brand new bottle, so I cracked it open. I've used it in the past before and liked it, so I'm using it again. And I'm just top coating these nails. Normally, I'm using a striper brush to go in those tiny spaces between those stones, and I always like to top coat over my micro beads because it helps preserve their color. Now, this is especially true when you have like gold or rose gold, because they could wear off to like a silver or like a gunmetal-y kind of raggedy color. The silver, I don't find so much, but I still like to top coat over them. They're not sparkly. It doesn't do anything to them. If anything, it adds a little more shine and luster to them. It kind of helps it out. So I'm just going in all those crevices I missed up towards the cuticle area, making sure not to get it on the skin. And you do not want to top coat your stones because it will take the shine away. We don't want any product on top of these stones. We want to make sure they're perfectly sealed in. Doing this keeps hair from getting in those crevices and catching on a whole bunch of stuff. And we cure that and we're done. So this set is relatively simple. It's just a lot of bling going on, a lot of color and pattern. It's really fun, and I just really like this set. It's so noticeable, but then you still have a lot of nude and neutral. It's just like a great balance. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave any comments below. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe, you guys. I really appreciate it. Bye.